What are the factors that come into play in your mind that set him apart from many or all of the other fighters?
His mental strength and his belief in himself and what his father's instilled in him, and how much he loved his father and how he wants to prove, that he can do what his father set out for him to do.
Amazing soul, very dedicated athlete.
Khabib's fighting with everything. He's fighting for his unblemished record. He's fighting for his dad. He's fighting because he's the best in the world, and this is what he like to do.
I like Khabib a lot, and I think his mental makeup, he will be very strong. If anything, fighting for his father, fighting for his beliefs.
Amazing show and amazing fighting, very dedicated in doing what he does.
He is great in the cage and outside the cage. Greatness become about what you do outside, what you do inside. Inside, nobody touch him. Khabib never been touched, never been beaten, never been hurt.
Yeah.
And he clean as a whistle.
I never seen a fighter tougher than him mentally.
Yeah.
I think that was his greatest asset, It was just mentally above everyone. And physical strength, I don't know, the guy fight bears. So.
I know, and I can tell you, it's like a heavyweight. When he grabs your wrist, it's literally like it's mind-boggling how his strength is, his grip strength and his control strength. When they show those up-close shots of those guys' faces when they get taken down and they're getting clinched and they have that look, I kind of know what they're thinking a little bit. I can just imagine in the middle of an actual fight with everything on the line, how that would play out in your mind. But even though you know what to expect kind of from Khabib, no one really does. That's why you keep hearing it over and over again when guys fight him, like, wow, he really is good at that, or he's really good at that. They knew he's good at what he's good at before they fight him, but until you feel it,
Yeah, you're 100% correct. It's everybody thinks they can do this with him till they get in there with her, and then they have a speech to go, man, I did not expect that. And then like Dustin Poirier said the same thing, goes, man, I thought I was ready, but once he got a hold of me, it's like I didn't realize, they all think that, at the beginning, but then when they go with him, then they go, I wasn't ready for that.
Well, look at Dustin Poirier, how good he looked against Dan Hooker.
Amazing.
And look at what Khabib did to him. Dustin went between rounds and was like, I can't get him off of me. Once he grabs me,
he's so strong,
I can't get him off of me. Like, this is Dustin Poirier, who's one of the bigger lightweights in the entire world. And, he's just a beast, man. You felt it. I felt when I grab a guy that fights at 155 and I go, man, he feels strong.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that should not happen. Like, he should not feel strong to me whenever I grab him. But he does.
Until you've actually sparred with him and rolled with him and grappled with him, it's just such a shock. It's such a shock with how strong and controlling he is.
Their strength is on a different level than like their opponents. It's just obvious. So I've never seen anyone be able to match Khabib or Cormier for that matter when it comes to strength and grappling ability.
Well, you think you're preparing for it, but you can't prepare for it until he grabs you.
Right.
And since you don't get him to grab you every day, you can't really understand what you're in store for until you're in the octagon and it's too late.
It can suck just when somebody grabs a hold of you with that strength. You're like, holy Jesus. Like everything becomes a little bit harder. Every little adjustment, every little position becomes a little bit harder.
If you don't end the fight, he's eventually just going to wear you down and end it himself.
Khabib is a grinder, man. I never seen nobody train like he does. He trains a lot.
He's just a rugged that'll grind you the hell out and that understands position. And more importantly, understands competition. He's a greater competitor than he is fighter. Yeah. And that's the shit that makes people dangerous.
He's an expert at taking you down. He's done it time and time again.
He goes single leg, double leg, body lock, and goes to the single again. He make happen. He doesn't go and go back. You know what I mean? You see that. His transition is insane. His groundwork is perfect.
That's the thing people don't realize is it's just one to another to another to another to another. You can't prepare for the level of intensity Khabib brings with those takedowns and just the ferocity and just the amount of them, the quantity of just this until he gets you down. It's like he's going to keep going. He's not going to stop.
But also, too, you got to worry about Khabib's punching. You can't be sleeping on just looking to defend a takedown and not worry about getting punched in the head and knocked out. That could happen, too.
And Khabib's going to do it. He'll throw.
Khabib, more and more dangerous because he's able to hurt you in so many different ways.
He came in the AKA as a wrestler, but he has developed his skills over in Dagestan with his dad, rest in peace. also with Javier and the rest of the coaches. With you guys sparring with him and grabbing him and working with him, I think when he found that connection to the gym, it allowed for him to go to a level that's unmatched, has never been seen before.
And like you said, no disrespect to his opponents. That's the reason we're saying what we're saying, because the level of opponents he's fighting are also the best fighters in the world. So it's like there's no disrespect there. But he's beating them, and he's beating them convincingly. That's the whole reason we're saying this.
And I couldn't imagine being a guy like Khabib, where we've all got that. Most of us got that loss out of the way, almost in a sense. Where it's just like, man, you pick up where you were, you move forward, and it's like it sucks, but you got that moving forward. You kind of lose the pressure of that one L. But when you're on that Mayweather or Khabib or all these guys are in the undefeated range, it's like every time you step in there, man, it's like that zero is always all on the line.
When you get to 28, 29-0, no hiccups, man. Like, he made no mistakes.
Yeah.
Won 28 straight fights, like 12-0 in the UFC.
Khabib Nurmagomedov is the best fighter we ever seen, and I don't think we'll ever see anyone like him anytime soon.
He's just a level above everyone, I think.
He is, and I think he's the greatest grappler MMA fighter in my opinion of all time.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody that I can think of that's greater than him. As a grappler MMA fighter, I really don't. I don't see anybody that's been as dominant as he has been on the ground. I mean, and that's like talking about people like Damon Maia, who I think is incredible too, and all these other incredible guys on the ground. But he just happens to be one of the best I've ever seen.
I believe Khabib Nurmagomedov is the most dominant fighter MMA has ever seen.
Yeah.
And I understand that there's been some great guys to this point, but nobody makes it look as easy as Khabib Nurmagomedov.